I'm Nathan Smith with Tallgrass TV, and we're here with Chance Mullen of the film Sunbelt Express. And just tell us what the film is about.
Yeah, so it's about undocumented immigration through the lens of comedy. So it follows down on his luck professor who ends up on a run across the border with 3 undocumented immigrants in the trunk, and his super liberal daughter in the car, and his pregnant ex-girlfriend who is also in the car. Yes, so it's pretty funny.
Good. Okay, and what role did you play in the production of the film?
I actually play the campaign manager of the main character's ex-wife, who's a super conservative politician in Arizona. So I'm the least likable person in the movie.
What was it like playing a role like that? Because I know you were screenwriter
Yes.
on it as well.
Yes, I wrote it. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of funny to write knowing that I'm going to be a not enjoyable person.
Right.
But it's nice, actually, because generally I play fairly likable people, and it was kind of fun to write something being like, oh man, everybody just hated me. It was good.
That's good. Okay. So where did the genesis of the screenplay come from?
Sure. So Evan, the director, and also co-writer, he had made this short film called La Linea that sort of grew out of, he was working in a bar, and he was talking with one of his barbacks, this guy, Gregorio Castro, who's also a writer on the film. And he was hearing all of these really funny stories of people crossing. And so he wrote a short film where there's 3 guys in the trunk of a car, and the entire film is just that. And it's like 7 minutes, but it was excellent. It was just this great film, and it did really well in festivals. And so he was like, you know what, I want to turn this into a feature. So I met him as an actor, actually, and we met at some event, and it was like one of those, like, yeah, we should work together. That would be great. And then 3 months later, I think I emailed him to be like, you know, you want to get some coffee or something? And he writes back, hey, can you write? And I was like, actually, I can. Turns out. And so then we chatted about it and decided to start writing it. Then like 80 years later, we finally finished the shooting script. And then even once we had finished the shooting script, we were 2 months away from production and did like a page 1 rewrite and changed everything, and then threw that out and changed everything. I mean, it was a pretty intense process, but in the end, we ended up with, I think, a really good film.
Okay. Well, what was your favorite moment during the production of the film?
Wow, that's a good question. The funny thing about the production is that, so we're in New Mexico, in the desert, outside Belen, New Mexico, which is south of Albuquerque. And we were constantly being interrupted by sandstorms. So everybody out there, and it was just brutally hot. I mean, it was just, I think Rachel Harris at one point was like caught on her mic, like everybody heard her say, like, it is hot as balls out here, and I am not gonna die for this film. She's hilarious. Okay, she meant it graciously. But it was that. It was so hot. There were sandstorms. A couple of the cast members were like on like a Pedialyte diet. I mean, everybody was getting dehydrated. But like we soldiered on. It was independent film, you know. So soldiered through it, and yeah, we're super excited we got through it.
What was the biggest obstacle you had to overcome in order to make the film, either pre-production or production?
Well, money's always. Money is always an issue. I think definitely as a writer, I think getting the story right and finding a way to create characters that were sort of not just motivated, but interesting, you know. Yeah, just getting it right, because you know that like once you do it, it's done.
Yeah.
So you better do it the way it needs to get done, because you're not going to do it again, you know.
What was the most important lesson you learned during the production?
Just to keep going, and there are 100 crises that happen regularly. You will be, one day you're like, we got all our money, and then the next day you're like, it turns out that person was lying. You know, that's just how it is. So if you kind of know going into it, yeah, it's gonna be horrible. There's gonna be horrible days when you just don't want to do anything else. If you just know that going into it, it just makes it a little bit easier. Just a little bit easier.
So what's next for the film, and what's next for you?
Yes, so the film is, we're negotiating distribution right now, which is good.
Nice.
Hopefully that goes well. I'm sure it will. And we're opening right now at 6 different places, 6 different festivals this weekend, which is great. We had our New York premiere last night, and then I flew in here today. And it's playing right now in New Orleans. So it's a pretty intense time. So we'll be doing that, I'm sure, for a little while. For me, I am halfway through my next feature, writing-wise, called Saints of Pelham. And it's about a klepto who is sentenced to 6 months of house arrest and therapy, who then befriends a compulsive liar pretending to be an amnesiac. So it's really dark stuff. So hopefully I'll finish that in the next 2 months. I have the story mapped out, but I'm writing the script now. So then when that's finished, then back into the fray we go.
Will you be acting in that one as well, or just?
Yeah, I have a small part in that one. I had a small part in Sunbelt.
Sure.
Yes, I'll be acting.
How have you enjoyed the Tallgrass Film Festival?
It's awesome. I just got here today, but you can't really have a bad time when people are giving you free booze. I don't think that's possible. But no, like everybody's super supportive and friendly and welcoming, and I just texted my wife. I was like, I can't tell you how awesome this festival is, because it's just cool. Like you walk in and everyone's like, we are happy that you're here. Like, great, then I am too.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to cover?
No, I'm good.
No, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.